Freelancing and learning how to freelance will make you rich. Even if you're never a freelancer or have no intentions of being a freelancer, it can change your life. Now, it sounds a little bit over the top and a little exaggerated, but just hear me out. My name is Cody. I'm a freelance software engineer for about 10 years now, and I've been around the freelancing space for even longer than that. And I've seen colleagues and coworkers and people make a ridiculous amount of money and also have high-flying careers that I have not seen outside of the freelancing space. Now, in this video, I want to boil down like a few core principles of freelancing that anyone can understand and help boost their career or even get into freelancing, even if you're not an engineer. I think everyone knows that building out your own business, freelancing, and being able to charge higher and higher rates and being able to structure like a whole like consulting freelancing business is a great way that people can make a ton of money. But I'm not going to necessarily talk about that. I don't find that as interesting. What I do find is interesting is like the core principles of like how and why it can improve anyone's career and job. The first core principle is that freelancing cuts out all of the noise. Now, what does it mean to freelance? It means that a company or someone needs you to do something, a very explicit thing, and they will pay you money to do that thing. It's a very specific exchange of goods, right? In almost every situation, you know exactly what needs to be done and what is considered a success when you're done. Now, why is this kind of a life lesson? Is that although that's the core basis of like what freelancing is, how it can improve anyone else like in the white collar world is that like if you're able to treat every part of your job just like that. The important thing is that even when you're in a full-time job is that you ask the question of like, well, why are we doing this? Why is this building towards the business? And how is this actually like making me get paid in the long run? What's the big picture and how is my work building towards that vision? Now, if you ask those big questions and you're able to draw it all the way down to what you're doing, then that guides you in everything that you're doing from day to day to work on the things that will bring the company the money, will pay your salary. It helps you choose the right teams, the right projects, and it also makes you, when push comes to shove, and we always run out of time, is that you work on the right thing that helps you and the business go towards that goal. As long as you know the big picture, you can understand where you fit in that big picture. So having the skill to cut through all the noise and understanding what you're there for and what you're doing your work for. What are you spending all this time for? Also, when it comes to like freelancing and software engineering, I do want to call out is that I am starting up a mentorship and coaching program. There's more information down in the description, and there's also a newsletter that I'm booting up that kind of has more information along these lines. If you're interested, check it out. And the next core idea of freelancing is that everything is a contract. When it comes to like small freelancing projects and even bigger freelancing projects, is that there's a contract involved. It involves who is the stakeholder, who you need to talk to, what are the requirements, and you're kind of always asking questions of like what determines success and how you figure out how the client can be happy for the work that you're doing and that you're able to deliver on that work, right? That's the core way a lot of these freelancing things start. Now, what does that have to do with just like everyday white collar life? Well, pretty much everything. If you treat all of your tasks that you're given, like especially in software engineering, you get a ticket, you understand what needs to be done, you type out the code, and you deliver it. But if you're more intentional about it and you ask the questions of why are we doing this? What are the requirements? What is success? If you have all that knowledge, then you know how to succeed on those tasks and be able to get through your job much easier, right? But you can also use that as the idea of how to get your next promotion, for example. So most companies will have a sort of like guidance of like, what are the skills and what are the requirements to get to that next level, that promotion. If you have that and you treat that kind of like your contract, then you can map the things that you're doing today, show them to your boss about how you're getting towards that goal. If you're very deliberate in treating it like a contract, that will help guide you with a crystal clear intention of what to do next in every step of your job. And one of the great things about doing something like this, about approaching everything like it is a contract, you can understand when people are doing stuff that you don't necessarily need to be doing. If you're focused on the things that are measurable, that you can actually deliver on, then that can help you focus on the things that you can actually get done and actually execute and actually help also march the business towards the right goals. There's one more core idea I want to share with you today, and it's just CYA. Now, if you're not familiar with it, it's like cover your butt. So a lot of people use this as a term to like make sure that you don't get in trouble. So if someone comes after you, especially in freelancing and in contracting, is that the clients may not be pulling their weight. They're not upholding their side of the bargain, and you want to make sure that you document everything so you can cover your butt legally in case something happens. Now, this idea, that's the negative side, but also there's a vast positive side to this. And if you are in the practice and you have the skill of making sure that you're always documenting everything, everyone you meet, the things that you do each day, and have a work log, then not only are you just kind of like covering yourself for the negative side of things, but it's also a career booster so that you always know what you've been up to. I mean, for example, I have work logs that go all the way back for the last 10 years. Like I can tell you that in 2017, in February, I was working with a client to help their integration tests because they were breaking a lot. And so I proposed a couple new solutions so that they would have a more concrete way to deliver their software that didn't break every other build. If I didn't write that down, I would have never known how I solved that problem in the past and been able to learn off of that and remember it so well. I don't casually remember something from 8 years ago, right? Also, having this sort of idea of a work log, a CYA doc, is that you will never forget names. You'll never forget like who you worked with and who does what, and like the blog posts that you use to like help you solve this problem. Everything's there. Once you get in the practice of doing it, it's super easy, and the momentum carries you through to do it every single day like I do. So yeah, those were quick 3 core principles of like how freelancing and sort of like kind of the freelancing ideas can help you boost your career and also guide you to making a lot more money in your life. But I could talk about this for much, much longer, and I do go into more granular detail in my mentorship and coaching program. If that's something you're interested, please check it out. Also, I'm planning on adding stuff like this into my newsletter. Check it out if you want, or don't. I don't care, it's up to you. But like I said, this is like the core basics of the idea of freelancing and how to get into it and advance your career in freelancing. If you enjoyed this video, just go ahead and check out this video as well. And I know that you'll like that one. But also, if you have any questions in this area, please start a conversation in the comments, and I respond to every comment so we can have a conversation there. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, go ahead and put a sword emoji in there, and then I will thank you directly for like watching this whole thing and taking the time out of your day. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one, and you guys have a good day.